everyone and welcome. This is the Silent K and today we're playing some MegaMek. I hope you're excited for that because I sure am. But first, I did do a couple of things off camera. I sorted out the infirmary to keep Elsa topped up with patients. Didn't do anything in the repair bay. Everything is already being worked on. The warehouse has been sorted and fixed and everything like that. The hangar has been sorted, personnel has been sorted. I did notice that Warwolf has enough XP for another edge, so I don't know if that's something he's gonna want. Same thing with Tentacle Shogun, they both have 10 XP and 2 edge, so mayhap they will be interested in that if I can get in touch with them. We're still on planting. We're still waiting for the clan invasion to start on Santander. It's still independent, so that's a good sign. We were in the middle of a convoy attack, and we'll get to that in a second. I did order a fair number of items that I noticed we were low on, specifically LRM ammo, and I topped up our reserves of endosteel parts. So that'll keep our administrators busy for a little bit. The big chunk of that is actually going to be the 66 double heat sinks because I noticed we were down to 34, and I like to keep us at around the 100 heat sink level. So I figured that was the way to go with that. The briefing room. Our boys are out on a convoy attack. We're trying to prevent 50% of the convoy units from crossing the far edge of the map. And the convoy units include a Shugosha loader mech, a copper security mech, which we haven't seen either of those yet. A Marco, which is making his way up the left side, a Brunel, which has been destroyed, a Swordsman, which is up on the left side, a Dromedary, a Hector, and a Crosscut that I don't remember seeing either. Maybe the Crosscut over here. No, yeah, there's a crosscut over here on the left side of the map. Let's see. We had enemy reinforcements. That is a Thunderbolt, a Stalker, a Longbow, and a Victor. So pretty heavy reinforcements coming in from the northwest. And that was on turn 10, I believe. And on our side, we've got a triple autocannon 5 turret, dual medium laser turret, another triple autocannon 5 turret, and a bunch of flamers and small lasers and machine guns. So, not a whole lot of help from the local civilians. Now, I was noticing that we haven't seen any units over here on the right side of the map at all, and I think that might be just because we don't have any units of our own deployed on that side. I'm thinking there might be some units over here making their way across unimpeded, and we can't have that. We do have Wyvern over here, who is hoping to take back shots on the Archer or the Cataphract next turn. Got Petra and Earl right here. They just killed the Brunel. They're working on the also working on, there was a Warhammer here who seems to have climbed over a building into an alley. Yarvik was squaring up with the Warhammer when the Enforcer showed up and promptly went down. He's still in fighting shape. He's just in a disadvantageous position. Gribbly, hello, how are you? Glad you could join us. So I don't know if you saw on Discord, but I did try setting my whatchamacallit, the display size to 100%, which the devs said would be able to help with the chugging on the map that happens when you use the high definition, the high quality graphics. The text became literally unreadable. It was just so tiny on the screen that I'm not going to be able to do that. So we'll have to deal with the low quality graphics in the meantime. hopefully they come out with a fix for that relatively soon, because the only other option I can think of would be rolling back to a previous save, because these are not backwards compatible, so everything we did last week was lost. We did that. We might be able to get one of the missions straightened out with our save file, but I wouldn't count on it. I don't know if it would be glitchy or buggy or anything, and it would be one mission at best. So the other one, we could do it manually, I guess, but all that just to roll back to a previous edition, I don't think I'm going to do that. So in the meantime, we have lost the initiative going into round 5. Round 10 is when those heavies are going to deploy on the northwest side. We're at 98.6% of our forces. Team 2 is at 95.5% of theirs. And for once, we don't actually have any unidentified hostiles on the map, so it is just the two teams. To start with, I'd like Earl. I definitely want to send someone off to the right over here, and the rifleman is our fastest mech in this quadrant. Earl and Petra are both in 3.5s. The Yarvik is in a 4.6. We could move 4 hexes this turn on a 3, or we could move 2 more hexes, but that brings the difficulty up to 5, which I don't think I want to do. But then next turn he'll be able to sprint, get to about here, I want to say. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, into hex, looks like 12, 15, 40, 42, 15. And then the turn after that, we'll be able to get eyes on this right-hand highway. I think that is what we're going to do. Hopefully we don't roll guys. Oh, right. We haven't replaced our players yet. Everyone is getting Princess. And I believe they're getting their original settings, which is outstanding. That's exactly what we want. Earl, I think, is going to start making his way up this way. Try to take the swordsman or the archer out from a frontal attack, depending on who gets there first, because he is slowly going to be making his way there on 3. Petra can get eyes on the enforcer, which has still not moved yet. He has a 4.64, so he could spend 1 turn getting up, 2 movement points getting up, and then he would have 4 movement points. 2, 3, 4. 3, 2. He could make his way into this alley here if he wanted to. Yeah, I think we're just gonna stop right here at this intersection. Maybe even turn this way. That way, if we need to, we can torso twist to the left and catch anyone that's down this alleyway, like the enforcer. Or maybe we'll entice him to try to get a back attack on us. And finally, Wyvern can move 6 hexes. The Brutus has LRMs and SRMs. Cataphract has autocannon 10 at a PPC. Get under his PPC. The autocannon 10 is still going to hurt, but we're still fresh, so I think we can handle that. And we got 5s. The Vedette got a 5. The other Vedette got a 6. The Enforcer got a 6 for getting up. The Hetzer got 7s. So everyone succeeded on everything. Yarvik does not appear to have a target at all. So we're to skip firing with him. Earl. Forcer is lined up in the back of Earl. We don't have any rear-facing lasers anymore, or we just have the one. Other than that, we haven't got any targets. Unless we could land a hit on him on a 5, looks like. Yeah, we'll take a shot on a 5. Don't think we'll be able to do anything else. Petra has got the Enforcer under her guns. Barank, hi, glad you could make it. You're not too late. I've only been going for a little over 10 minutes. I did do a bit of a recap. With some things happened off camera, nothing major. Ordered some parts, ammo, parts, things like that. Other than that, it's basically business as usual. We're picking up where we left off. Jarvik is heading this way to try to cover this right flank that we have no information on. Everyone else is either heading to the left or engaging this Enforcer. It does look like we have a battle going on. We've got this Enforcer on an 8 and not an arm. We will actually skip the one in the arm. We might get in a punch. We'll fire the one in the torso. We'll do standard shot on a 5, which is pretty much guaranteed to hit at 83%. Guaranteed might be a strong word. We've got 5s with the mediums, actually keeping our right arm free. No, we're not going to be able to keep the right arm free. I want to fire those lasers. We will be able to punch him with our left arm at least, and hopefully we can, unless we knock him down. If we knock him down, we won't be able to punch him at all. But he is a decent pilot. He only went down earlier because of some bad luck. We've got the Brutus or the Cataphract. Both have a TMM of 0. Brutus has less armor and is already damaged. Well, that is interesting. The Brutus looks like it's damaged on the front already. The Cataphract is still fresh. Maybe we take out the Brutus real quick first. Yeah, that'll be 5s and I think 3s, 2s. We'll go all but one of the SRMs. There we go. We trade one of the small lasers for an SRM4. I think that's what we're. No longer letting me there. Okay. Skip. Friends. For some reason it is not letting us attack the Brutus anymore. We do have an archer behind us. We could hit him on 2s. But I really wanted to try to finish off this Brutus. What happens if we select the Cataphract? Now we select the Cataphract. Rolling all the way over does nothing. Let me try right-clicking, target Brutus. Okay, now we can fire on it. And that'll be one small laser. and enough SRMs to get us to 5 over. That'll have to be both small lasers. Yeah, we'll do that for some guaranteed damage. We'll have to right click again, target Brutus, skip, and fire away all Z missiles for 4 over. Let's see. The Vedette hits the Enforcer in the chest with an autocannon 2. He's down to 13 armor there. The Cataphract at the Archer lands the PPC on the right arm, lands the autocannon 10 on the right leg. That hurts. I was really hoping he would not hit with the PPC. He does also hit with a medium laser on the right arm again, down to 7 armor there. Earl hits the Enforcer in the left arm with a medium laser that crits on his shoulder. The Warhammer is firing at Hex 2825. It's down to 97 construction factor. Our allied Vedette is firing at the Swordsman, hitting him in the center torso rear with a machine gun and an autocannon 2, leaving him with 1 armor. Banshee at the Enforcer hits him in the left arm with the LBX, misses with the PPC. The left arm is destroyed and transfers into the left torso. Medium lasers to the center torso, right arm, head, forcing his second consciousness check. The left arm transferring into the left torso, and the left torso again with a small laser, critting on a small laser and a heatsink. 4 SRMs also going to the left torso and left leg, critting on his upper leg and a jump jet, so he's going to be now a 353 movement profile. The Marco firing a large laser and missing at the Hetzer, and an SRM-4 glances, still hits with 3 SRMs, landing an immobilizing hit on its right side. The next Vedette hits the crosscut in the left torso with an SRM, down to 4 armor there. The Enforcer at Earl hits him in the right leg with an autocannon 10. Would have hit him in the head with a large laser, but re-roll that to the right arm with our second to last point of edge. Small laser to the center torso rear, down to 11 armor there. Wyvern at the Brutus hits it in the rear, hits it in the right side in the turret a bunch, costs it a movement point, stuns the crew. +1 to driving rolls, crit on an LRM-20, cost it another movement point, and finally hit the ammunition in the turret. So we can scroll through the rest of those SRMs. The Brutus critting on the flamer turret and jamming a flamer or 2. The Hetzer at the crosscut hits it in the center torso rear, to right and left torso rear. Those sides are down to 0 armor. Left torso rear takes another hit to the gyro, so the crosscut is going down. Hopefully we don't finish him off. We'd like to leave him crippled. Critted on his right torso rear for the lift hoist. Critted on his gyro 2 more times to the center torso rear. Left leg, left arm, right arm. More S-arms at the crosscut to the center torso rear, critting on the engine. Right torso rear, center torso rear. Crosscut destroyed by engine explosion. Fortunately, it looks like nobody was close enough to get blown up by that. The Hetzer is 3 hexes away. The Marco is 3 hexes away. The Vedette is 3 hexes away. Doesn't look like anyone took any damage. The enemy archer landing a medium laser on Wyvern's right leg, down to 15 armor there. Landing an SRM to the right arm, leaving us with 5 armor there. The Enforcer needs a pair of 6s, gets a 7 and a 4, falls on his right arm, goes internal, down to 7 structure. Needs a 6 to avoid taking his third point of damage, which he does do. Earl took 20 plus damage, needs a 5, gets a 9. Wyvern took 20 plus damage, needs a 4, gets a 3. Falls on his right leg and right torso. Needs a 4 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 10. So Wyvern is now in a bad spot. Physical attacks for Yarvik. We're going to skip. Earl is going to skip. Did Petra fire something from her left arm? I thought I'd get a chance to punch. The Archer 2S kicks us in the left leg. Wyvern is down to 16 armor there. The Marco kicks the Vedette in the left side, costing it a movement point. The Cataphract kicks Wyvern in the left arm. Would have been the center torso critical. But we've got 1 point of edge remaining, and we're down to 8 armor on the left arm. Let's see, the Enforcer is at 3 heat, the Warhammer is at 6, the Cataphract is at 7, the Archer and the Marco are at 3 and 2. Our peeps are running a bit cooler. Our Petra is at 1 heat, Wyvern is at 4. Okay, there we go. We have 1 initiative going into round 6. We're at 91.8% of our forces. We've got apparently 2 of them crippled. Team 2 is at 86.3% of their forces. 1 with heavy damage, 3 destroyed. Crippled. No, it's not. Liver. High damage. Damage. Why did I say we got a crippled you? Unless I was talking about one of the turrets. I don't know. Let me start with Yarvik, because we know where he's going and what he's doing. We'll sprint, no deal. We're not picking up anything on sensors, but that might be because there's a ton of buildings in the way. Petra. Honestly, kind of like to stay there and control that intersection with her long-range guns. Earl is going to sprint and try to catch this intersection as soon as possible. Petra is going to advance on the Enforcer and hopefully get in a kick this turn. And Wyvern, who cannot jump this turn. There's another Enforcer. This one's only a 3/4, but that is 3 mechs on 1, and they're starting to surround us. The Enforcer is moderately evasive. Looks like he jumped 4 hexes. Can we get out of here with a certain number of piloting checks, apparently? Need a 3 to get up, need a 2 for running and turning on pavement, shouldn't be a problem. The Enforcer gets up, needed a 4, got a 7. The Vedette needed a pair of 3s, got an 11 and a 6. The Copper has fled the battlefield. Dang. Marco, running and turning, needs a 7, gets a 7. And Wyvern needed a 3, got a 3. Barely succeeded on getting up, and then successfully turned on pavement. An 8. Yarvik might be able to flip arms and attack this Cataphract. No, we sprinted this turn. Earl sprinted this turn as well. Petra at the Enforcer. That's going to be same thing as last time. That's going to be a 7 with the PC. That's going to be a 4 with the LBX. And then we'll throw in a slew of mediums and the SRMs and smalls. Wyvern at the Cataphract, maybe on 2s, or the Archer on 2s. Cataphract, I think, has more ammo. Cannon 10 has 7 shots. No, the Archer has LRM and SRM ammo. So hopefully we can get a crit on those. We'll just go ahead and go 4 heat over. Not 7, 4. And we'll do that. Alright, the Flamer repaired the Flamer. The Cataphract hits Wyvern in the left torso with the autocannon 10. Medium lasers to the center torso, leaving us with 23 armor. Must be his cooldown turn, he didn't fire the PPC. The Vedette hits the Enforcer in the center torso for 2, down to 6 armor there. The Warhammer landing 23 points of damage on Hex 28-25. It's down to 74 construction factor. The Vedette at the Archer, missing with the S-arms on the autocannon. The Vedette at the Swordsman hits him in the right arm with a machine gun. Petra at the Enforcer, missing with the PPC, landing the LBX on the left torso, transferring into the center, leaving him at 13 structure, critting on the gyro and the engine. Medium lasers to the right and center torso, down to 8. The left side transfers to the center torso. Left arm transfers to the center torso. That is a kill on the Enforcer for Petra. The Enforcer firing at Earl hits him in the right torso rear with the autocannon 10, which does strip the armor down to 0. The Archer 2S lands a medium laser on Wyvern's right leg, down to 5 armor there, and lands 3 SRMs to the right leg, right and left torso. Commander needs more skill points. Yes, I am glad that happened. The Swordsman hits Earl in the right leg with an autocannon 5, down to 26 armor there, and 3 LRMs to the right torso. Wyvern at the Archer 2S, landing rather a lot of SRMs, it looks like. Getting some good cluster rolls, but not getting the crits I was hoping for. 1 in every 36 SRMs should be a potential crit. We hit him in the left arm for no effect. We did hit him for 40 plus damage. We knocked him down. He needed an 8. He got a 7. Takes 5 to the right leg and 2 to the left arm, down to 17 and 12. Needs an 8 to avoid damage, gets a 10. Wyvern also took 20 plus damage, needs a 4, gets a 10 as well. Petra has no physical targets. Wyvern has no physical targets. Warhammer cooled down a little bit this turn. He's down to 5. The Archer heated up a little bit this turn. He's up to 5. Cataphract is down to 1 heat. Swordsman is up to 1 heat. Petra is at 1, and Wyvern is holding at 4. And maybe looking to run out of ammo before too much longer. We've lost initiative going into round 7, and quite badly, a 3 versus a 9. We're at 90% of our forces, Team 2 is at 79% of theirs. Specifically, we're at 92% of our team. Allies are down to 77%. Primary outforce down to 68%. Convoys down to 60%. Reinforcements and fixed defenses are both still at 100%. Yarvik will walk into this intersection and see what he can see. Maybe he will also turn this way so he can come back if he needs to quickly. Earl is going to advance at a run. Maybe not. Petra. Maybe back up 1 and turn. Earl. Maybe could have taken the other alley. Wyvern, I think, is going to turn tail and try to be evasive as possible. Maybe try to kite those guys down towards Earl. The Archer, which fell down, trying to get back up, needs a 6, gets a 3, takes 7 to the left arm and right torso. Needs a 6 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 3, needs a 3 to stay conscious, gets a 6. The Marco has fled the battlefield. The Cataphract, running and turning on pavement, needs a 4, gets a 7. Wyvern needs a 2, gets a 7. The Swordsman needs a 4, gets a 5. Yarvik has surprisingly no targets. We will have to book it back down this way next turn. That was a mistake. Should have kept him in the fight. We've got the swordsman, which is part of the convoy. We just want to destroy the convoy at this point. I kind of feel like maybe we do. We've got him on a 4 with the LB-10X. We've got him on a 5 with the large laser. Cluster munitions, that's why. No, we've got him on a 5 with the LBX, a 5 with the large laser, 5 with the mediums. We'll skip the small because it's a 9. We'll skip the LRM because it's a 9, and we'll throw in the SRMs to put us at 1 heat over. Petra has eyes on the Cataphract at a long range. That gives us 9s with the PPCs, and then 8 with the LBX on cluster. Maybe we can land a lucky crit as ammo. Hopefully, probably not. Wyvern, who is surprisingly not getting shot in the back by the archer yet. Looks like. Hasn't got anyone in his arc. Maybe he turns around and returns next turn. He still has armor across the torso and the left leg. It's just the right side where he's starting to look pretty thin. We can keep our left side turned towards them. Maybe. We might be able to stay in the fight. Alright, the flamer turret repaired its other flamer, which is nice. The vedette hits the archer in the left arm for 2 down to 5. The cataphract shooting at building 2227 and gets the kill on the building with laser fire and LBX fire. The vedette missing on an 8. The Atlas, our Atlas, hits the swordsman in the center torso with the LBX. Hits him in the left arm with the large laser. 5 and 0. Those locations. Medium lasers to the right leg and left torso, and 2 SRMs to the right torso and right arm. That swordsman is actually tougher than I had given it credit for. The Warhammer is firing at building 2825, hits it for a total of 23 points of damage. It's down to 51 points. The Vedette hits the swordsman in the right arm and right torso with a machine gun and an SRM. Down to 2 armor on that right arm. Petra at the Cataphract does land all 10 shots of the LB-10X, destroying the searchlight and scattering some damage across it. The swordsman lands an autocannon 5 across on Earl's right leg, down to 21 armor there, and 2 LRMs to the right torso, down to 27. Flamer turret is destroyed by building collapse, and the swordsman needs a 6, gets a 6. Yarvik will not be making a physical attack, nor will Earl, nor will Wyvern. The swordsman kicks the hetzer in the left side for 8. It has 14 armor remaining. And everyone is cooling down this turn except the Cataphract. Picked up 5 points and is now at 6. The Warhammer is down to 4, so he's not going to be suffering any penalties anymore, unless he tries firing both of his PCs again. Going into round 8, we've lost initiative again. We're at 89.6%. Team 2 is at 76.75%. And we're getting closer and closer to those reinforcements arriving from the northwest. Yarvik needs to sprint, even if it means on a 5. Earl. Can we trust the hetzer to finish off the swords? We turn down this way. We can have Wyvern come in and shoot up the swordsman a bit. That should be easy pickings for him. Meanwhile, we can have Earl start heading this way towards those three. He hasn't taken much damage except to his right torso rear. And the right leg's taken a bit of a wallop, but nothing terrible. Need a pair of threes, we'll get a pair. Sure. Petra going to advance on the cataphract. Cataphract, which has now disappeared. Also, where is the archer? Do we run to get the kick? Or do we walk and use the missiles? How badly damaged is the swords? He's looking pretty rough. Still got all of his structure, but it won't take much to start tearing into that left torso. Won't be much to get into the right torso either. If we kick him, we're doing 14 damage, which is not enough to destroy either leg by itself. Yeah, we're specialized in missiles. It shouldn't be any problem to hit him, even if we run. Rifleman needs a 5, gets a 7. Earl needs a pair of 3s, gets an 8 and a 6. Huzzah. Yarvik has no targets. Earl has surprisingly just the dromedary on a 10. But I don't think we want to kill the dromedary. I think we want to try to capture it. So we will actually be firing that right arm laser at the swordsman on a 5. Petra can't hit the warhammer, can't hit the dromedary, can't hit the swordsman. So it looks like Petra's spending this turn cooling down. Wyvern will also be spending this turn. No, he spent last turn cooling down. So we'll skip the smalls because that seemed to work last time. And we'll go 2 heat over. No, we'll throw in the smalls. We'll go 4 heat over. That is everything. Yeah. Crew dead, no gyro. Crew dead is, I'm guessing, the Hetzer. The Vedette hits the swordsman in the right arm with an SRM and an autocannon 2, which leaves it with 4 structure. The Vedette hits the swordsman in the center torso with an SRM and an autocannon 2, leaving it with 1 armor. Earl at the swordsman hits it in the left arm, leaving it with 1 structure. The Warhammer at building 2825, which is already inoperative, hits it for 32 points of damage, jamming the turret and leaving it with 19 structure. The swordsman hits Earl in the left torso rear with an autocannon 5, leaving us with 5 armor. Left leg and right arm with medium lasers. Wyvern at the swordsman hits him in the left leg and left torso with small lasers, and then SRMs destroying the left arm. Going internal on the center torso, going internal on the left torso, critting on the autocannon and a heat sink, critting on the autocannon 3 more times, and critting on the autocannon 5 ammo. And there is no more swordsman. And that appears to be it. Earl will be skipping his physical attacks, so will Petra, so will this building. I think that's the only thing that's a legal target for him. The Warhammer gains 2 heat and it is at 6. Wyvern gains 4 heat and is at 4. We've 1 initiative going into round 9. We've got enemy reinforcements arriving in 1 turn. We're at 89.12%. Team 2 is at 74%. Primary outfor is at 68. The convoy is at 22, with 3 units remaining. 2 of them fled, 3 destroyed, 1 ejected. Alright, Yarvik. We'll sprint into this intersection in the center of the map. Earl will advance at a run. Hopefully get eyes on a cataphract or a archer or something. Oh, we've got eyes on an archer. Petra can get into medium laser range on his flank. His right side is his strong arm, but his weak leg and torso. Yeah, we'll go up to 3 hexes range from him. Even though he's got medium lasers and SRMs, we've got more medium lasers and more SRMs. Well, no, we've got 2 less SRMs. Wyvern. Might as well stand on the edge of the fray if nothing else. Dromedary needs a 4, gets a 4. Vedette needs a 5, gets a 12. Wyvern needs a 2, gets a 5. Vedette needs a 3, gets a 6. Everyone succeeds. Yarvik has eyes on the archer, but he sprinted. Earl has eyes on the dromedary on 8s. Do we really want to? I think I'd rather capture the dromedary. Yeah. Maybe we throw a pellets at it and try to disable it. But other than that, I'm not trying to do any major damage. But Petra at the archer on a 6 with the PPC, with a 5 on the LBX. Play. Skip that for now. Put it on cluster. We'll hit him with some medium lasers on 5s. We'll throw in the smalls. We'll throw in the SRMs. And we'll throw in the LBX after all that is said and done. And that puts us at 1. Wyvern doesn't have eyes on anyone that's in range. The Vedette misses the dromedary, needed a 9, got a 6. Earl at the dromedary hits with 6 pellets, costing it half its movement points, costing it 1 more, costing it 2 more, which I think is enough to immobilize it. Yeah, it's a 2-3. Half of that is 1-2, minus 2 is 0-0. So it's not going to have any movement points. It is still technically not immobile. It just has no movement points, but we don't get that sweet -4 bonus to hit it. The Warhammer hits building 28-25 with a PPC, a medium laser, and 4 SRMs, which is enough to destroy it. The Vedette missing the dromedary. The Banshee at the archer hits him in the left arm, critting on a medium laser in his hand. Medium lasers to the left torso ×2. Center torso, another one to the left torso. The right arm down to 15. SRMs to the head, forcing a second consciousness check. Her second consciousness check, I guess, Linda. The right arm and right torso. And then 4 needs a 4, get an 8. With 6 pellets hitting the right side with the LBX. Critting on the left arm and hitting the head again for a third consciousness check. Needs a 7, gets a 4, and goes unconscious. That's what we were hoping for. The Vedette missing the dromedary. The archer landing a medium laser on Petra's center torso. Medium laser to the left torso, costing us a point of edge. Rocket launcher turret destroyed by damage. Archer 2S automatically falls, takes 7 damage to the right arm and the head, forcing, not forcing, but dealing 2 more points of damage to the pilot, 1 from hitting the head and 1 from falling, leaving her with 5 total hits. That archer is about to lose its pilot. We've got no physical attacks. Declare. The Warhammer is at 5 heat. The Archer is surprisingly at 4, but that'll be dropping. Petra is at 1 heat. Everyone else is running cool. We've lost initiative going into deployment phase of round 10. This is where things get scary. We're down to 9,049 points. We still have all of our units on the field, but we're at 91.25%. They're at 76.7%. Our allies are at 76.7%. Op 4 is at 66.8%. Reinforcements are at nearly 8,000 points. So they're almost equal to our entire force just by themselves. Yarvik will advance on the archer, I think. No, Yarvik is going to advance in this direction where he might be able to get a shot on a Thunderbolt. Needs a 3. Hopefully we don't roll snake eyes. I saw a Stalker and the Thunderbolt. Wyvern, no, Earl. Let's get Wyvern out of the way first. Wyvern is low on armor in a lot of, especially the right side. Do I want him to be center of attention right now? I don't think I do. I'm going to block that. Right? The Stalker has LRMs and large lasers. So we're going to be at medium range for him. Going to be at extreme range for us. Let's see. Oh, Stalker does not have large lasers. It has LRM 20s. Wyvern. Can we back up here into long range of him? That gives us 8s plus his movement. He ran, but he only needed a 7 at long range. So we're up to 9s. I'm okay with 9s. It's the convoy's turn to move. They seem to be taking their time. Sure. Might have to kick Federated Commonwealth Convoy. Slash who? Federated Commonwealth. Back reinforcements. Local. Primary op 4. Convoy. Server 3 looks like. Slash kick 3, I believe is how that's going to work. Perhaps, maybe not. Or perhaps we're going to have to rely on the autosave to save us. Yeah, it looks like we have tested the software to its breaking point. Um, okay, we can minimize it, we just can't close it. That's interesting. Okay, by closing it again, maybe? Oh man. I know the development version is a less stable version than the well, obviously than the stable version. But it's not usually like the crashing kind of unstable. All right, give me just a second. Uh, Alt Tab or Alt F4. Let me try Alt F4.